Hey, kia ora, Helen Bromsek, coming live from Sun City in Arizona. Welcome to Before the Dirt Nap podcast number 1136. What are you missing? And you're probably thinking, what do you mean, what am I missing? Well, there's all sorts of things you could be missing. But anyway, I hope you've all had a super fantastic, sparkling day. I was going to talk about fun tonight, but then I thought, I'm going to talk about something a little different. Yeah, what are you missing? What are some of the puzzle pieces that of your plan that you want? So, you've got written out your dream, your goals, all of that sort of stuff, and you're thinking, this is where I want to go. This is what I want to do in life. But what tools are you missing? What things are you missing? Are you missing opportunities? These are all things that you could be missing. It could be you're missing a step to take you from here to here. It could be that you're missing a vital piece that you need. It could be a coach that you need. It could be a mentor, an accountability partner. It could be a mastermind program. It could be all sorts of things that you could be missing, even a workshop that could hold the key to that. Make sure I have a key. Hang on. One moment, please. I'm going to... There's my key. You could be missing the key to fulfilling your lifelong dreams. You could be missing the key. So what are you missing? What door does you may have the key, but you've got no idea where the door is. So do you have a door and no key, or do you have a key and no door? There's a good question for you. So which are you missing? Are you missing the key or the door? Because when you find the key, the key that unlocks the door, magic happens. But when you find the door hang on, which one did I just say? When you find the key, when you have the key and you find the missing door and you unlock that, possibilities are endless. Or it could be that you don't have the key, you just have the door and no key. But you're looking through that box of keys. You ever had one of those boxes of keys? We used to have had a can when we were growing up as kids, and it was just full of all sorts of keys. There was keys for padlocks. There were, big keys like this for big door, the old-fashioned keys for doors. There was vehicle keys in there. There was all sorts of keys. It was just a box of keys. And what I liked on the keys was the top of the key. What did the top of the key look like? Some of them had some really cool designs on them. This one's actually a bottle opener. See? Bottle opener. But it represents keys. It may even fit a door. Who knows? But when you're after your goals and things, there's a missing piece. What is your missing piece? And this morning I attended a class that we were talking about moving forward, and to keep moving forward and to find those, and not letting opportunities pass you by and all of that sort of stuff. And it got me thinking. And as they were talking, it got me thinking about this really cool book that I read. It's called The Traveler's Gift by Andy Anderson. And I love Andy Anderson's books because I learn through story. And this book is, he writes a lot of parables. And this is a book about a guy who has a very successful job in a very big company, and he ends up losing everything and doesn't know where to go, what to do. But then through circumstances, he ends up traveling through time and meeting these historical people. And the historical people he meets are the only ones that can see him. And he meets people like Abraham Lincoln, he meets King Solomon, Harry Truman, Anne Frank. Who else was in there? The Archangel Gabriel, Christopher Columbus, and some other historical figures. And they all have something to teach him. They all teach him one thing. And he ends up with, I think it's, 7 things that they end up teaching, that he ends up learning about. And those 7 things can actually change his life. But one of the most impactful things in there, that's what it was with this morning with one of the stories. Our coach that we're working with in this class, she mentioned about, at the end of your life, about having ghosts standing around you, and these ghosts represent the talents that you didn't use. They represent the missed opportunities that you had. And that's why I immediately thought of the Traveler's Guide, because in one chapter, he is walking through this room. This room is massive. It is so big. He cannot see the walls or the ceiling in this place. It is so big, and it is full of everything you can possibly imagine. And there's a stack of papers, and the main character picks up the stack of papers, and he's flipping through it, and he goes, "What is this?" And he gets told, "Oh, in there is the cure for colon cancer and for liver cancer and lung cancer. There's the cures in there." And he's sort of like, "Well, what is this place?" And it turns out it's the room that never was. And the room that never was is where people stop short of achieving their goals. So they're going after their goals, like he said, with the pieces of paper where they were looking for the cures for cancer, for different types of cancer. They stopped short. If they had kept going, they would have come across the solution. He goes, "Well, am I taking this back with me?" And he says, "Nope. That opportunity's gone." And he got shown a photograph of him, his wife, his daughter, and 2 other kids. And he looks at us and goes, "But I only have 1 daughter." He goes, "Exactly." He missed the opportunity to have 2 other children. And I'm so like, oh. And the archangel even told him the names of the children. And he said, "Those were names that we had picked out. And this is why we had those names picked out for any future children we were going to have." And that chapter really gets me thinking. And even when they were talking about the ghosts standing around your bed, and, it's about, do you really want to live a fulfilled life? And how do you want to fulfill that life? What opportunities are you letting slide by because you've got the blinders on, because you're so focused on this one thing that you've got the blinders on and you're focused on one thing. And then you go and focus on this thing over here. Again, the blinders are still on. You can't see anything beyond the blinders because but the opportunities are coming from all directions and you're missing. I know I have missed opportunities. But when I first read, and I've read this book a few times, when I first read that chapter, I stopped and I was like, what do I have in the room that never was? And it's always bugged me, that thing. It's like, and when people present opportunities to me, or when I come across an opportunity, I'm like, am I supposed to take this opportunity, or is this one I'm supposed to let go? And if I let it go, because you evaluate the opportunities as they come along, and you determine yes or no. But if you say no, is it going to end up in the room that never was, along with whatever would have come had you follow along with that opportunity? And so it kind of makes you think when you stop and you listen to what's going on around you, and you're like, what is in the room that never was that would have been mine had I taken this opportunity? Some of them, gut instinct, straight away, that's not the right opportunity for me. And I can tell you, I had a couple of weeks, it was 2 weeks ago today, I was looking at this opportunity for a particular group, and there were some red flags raised about it, and it sounded good, and I was putting it through my little filter thingy, and I had a lot of questions, and I said, look, I need to process this, because they wanted an investment right there and then. I said, it's not going to happen. I said, I have to process this. I said, I do have questions, and I will have more questions once I have processed. And 5 minutes after I got off the phone, my phone rang, and it was a very good friend of mine who had a different opportunity for me that I was sort of like, I'm in. There was no hesitation, no pause. I had gone from people I didn't know who were presenting an opportunity that sounded good, but were raising some red flags, and I had a lot of questions about. And I thought, I'm going to ponder this, and I'm going to put it through my filter. And part of the process of putting it through my filter is talking with trusted advisors. Always make sure you've got trusted advisors on your side. And so I was kind of telling them about this, and so he had me talk to another couple of people. And by the time I got there, I'd already made up my mind. By the time I got to the end of that phone call, I was sort of like, I ain't doing that other opportunity. And because it was just too new. I just got bad vibes about it. And so I thought, well, Brad's watching me over on this one, because 5 minutes after I get off the phone, I get another call with an even better opportunity. And so it was a no question on that one. But sometimes we get those opportunities that come along that sound good, then some red flags raised. You do have to go and process it. But other times sometimes some people will take, and I'm guilty of this too, they will take an opportunity because it's marks off all their check boxes and all that, and it turns out to be a huge mistake. Because they may have missed a couple of small details, and those couple of small details had a big impact on the outcome. So when you're evaluating, make sure that you have your filter of for me to accept this opportunity, what criteria do I need for this? And it's amazing. And one of my filters has always been, am I turning this down if I'm turning this opportunity down, am I turning it down for the right reasons? And is it going to move me forward? Is it going to move me? And if you're thinking of the cash flow quadrant, you got the left side, which is you switch hours for dollars, and on the right side you have money working for you. Is the opportunity that's come along, is that going to take me from this side to this side? Is it going to take me from switching hours for dollars to money working for me? Or is it going to keep me on the left side where I'm trading hours for dollars? And so that's one of the filters that goes through. And so I'm now, ever since I launched my Before the Dirt Nap Corporation, I am now checking everything. Does it take me from the left side to the right side, or does it keep me on the left side? And it's one of my major filters for evaluating things. And I could see this opportunity could end up being more. It was going to end up being more time for dollars if I wasn't out there promoting things. There was no money coming in, and I was like, yeah, not really into that. So it used to be in things I was like, oh yeah, that sounds really good. Maybe we'll give it a go. And the next thing you know, you're purchasing a program that you didn't really want. I have done that. I am guilty of that. And because I went with this program over here, I missed the better opportunity that was coming along behind it. So I know that there are things in the room that never was, that do belong to me, but will never come to fruition because I missed that opportunity. And so I wonder if when we transition, we get, yes, it's right here. See, it's right there. Okay. Just checking on a chew stick. And I wonder if when we transition from this life to the next, if we get to see the things that we missed out on because we missed an opportunity or we took the wrong opportunity and the one we should have taken was right behind it. So it's very interesting to think about that. Sorry, train of thought just ran out of my head. It's Friday. So when you're have your filter to evaluate your opportunities. Is this the right opportunity for you? How does it make you feel? What questions do you have? Are those questions raising red flags, or are the answers to those questions raising red flags? What are you missing? Are you missing an opportunity because you've got blinders on? Down below in the description, there's the Traveler's Gift book is right there. The link for it is right there if you want to go and check it out. It is an incredible book. Like I said, there's 7 different things that you learn along the way, and they're not hard things to learn. It's just more knowledge. It's putting things in a way that you've probably heard over and over and over and over and over again, and suddenly it'll click with you. And that's what happened with me with this book. It's like, oh, I remember so-and-so talking about that in this presentation that they did. Now that makes sense. Or it's like, oh yeah, that's what they've been telling me all this time. Now it makes sense. Because it could be at the time I wasn't ready to hear it. As they say, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. Now, the mastermind group I belong to, right back at the beginning, they were talking about doing email marketing and email campaigns, and I was sort of like, yeah, I ain't doing that. I was not aggressive enough. And then one of the mentors came in and had a workshop on. And so I went to that workshop, and I was like, this is a hands-on workshop. I'm going to have to send out email campaigns. And I did that. And the results that I saw from that was sort of like, wow, this stuff actually works. And when I went back and reported back on this class, you can see on this class hands-on workshop I had attended, he said, well, what did you think? I said, well, it was really hard to press the button the first time. I said, but the guys at my table made me do it. They wouldn't let up until I pressed that button that sent everything off. And I says they were watching me, and because they knew, we talked amongst ourselves about email marketing and all of that, and I talked about my fear of email marketing, and they literally said, push the button. You've got the wording done. this is an awesome campaign thing, that techniques that we're learning. You need to push the button to see the results for yourself. And so I pushed the button and got back some really good results on open rate, on response rates. I didn't make any sales that weekend, but it didn't matter because I had taken a risk and I had done it. And it was something that I didn't want to do, but I did it anyway. And the results paid for themselves. Do I still do email marketing today? Occasionally. I'm not consistent. I will admit that I am not consistent. So because I'm not consistent with it, I have probably missed out on some opportunities along the way. I probably have some stuff that would have come out of that would stop things from going into the room that never was. So what missed opportunities have passed you by? What do you have your blinders on? It's time to take the blinders off and see the world around you and see because opportunities are everywhere. You have to take the blinders off. You have to listen. You have to see and stop using this. You have 2 of these and 2 of these for a reason and only 1 of these for a reason. So use the eyes, use the ears, shut this up and find the opportunities. They are out there. If you are open to looking, you will find them. So I'm going to check my notes here, make sure I've got everything covered. So are you allowing opportunities to pass you by? Stop it. If you are somebody who learns by story or by parables, then please go check out Andy Andrews' The Traveler's Gift. It's an awesome book, a great story. Some of the people he gets to meet along the way, like I said, it was Abraham Lincoln and let's see who else was on there, Anne Frank and Christopher Columbus and King Solomon, Harry Truman, and some others. It's a very interesting read, and the lessons that he learns along the way too. And I've applied some of those from that book. And I was looking through it again today, and I thought, I need to go back and read this again. I can't tell you how many times I've read that book, but I need to go back and read it again. And if you want another opportunity, remember, opportunity knocks. Opportunity is knocking on the door. Do you have the key to unlock that door and allow it in? Come join us at Networking Riches on September 21st to 22nd. Just go to havetonetwork.com. It's in the description below. You get to, if you use that link, you get to come as my guest. And the opportunities that you have at these events are amazing. The information that you will learn will take your networking skills to another level. Whether if you're beginning to network and you're not sure how to do it, come along. You'll learn how. If you already are networking and you're out there networking and you want to improve your skills, come join us. If you are a proficient networker and a connector and everything else, come join us, because you will still learn something. It could be just a slight tweak you've got to make somewhere, but these 2 days, and the thing I just love this event and these 2 days. The thing I love the most about this is I've been to every Networking Riches event that they have had except for 2.5. The half one, I sat beside my husband's bedside. It was August of 2017. I was sitting beside my husband's bedside, and whenever the doctors and nurses came in, I would shut my computer down, listen to what they had to say, interact with them, and then I would go and get back online to enjoy more of the education that was being played during that time, that was coming through the workshop. The other thing I like about this workshop is we have what's called the Breakthrough Zone, and the Breakthrough Zone is you'll learn a lot of really cool stuff on networking, like what you do before the networking, during the event, after the event. There's a whole bunch. There's a system to it, and you learn about the system. But the thing that I like the most is the breakthrough zones, and we get one of the and you get to volunteer. You come in with your business and you say, this is one issue that I'm having right now. And it could be, for example, you've got an event coming up and you're trying to get butts and seats. Or it could be you've started a new business and your target audience hangs out on social media and you're not sure how to market to them. You need some ideas. You want ideas about building your list. So all sorts of things like that. And you need to be open. You need to have one problem. You need to be open to coaching. You need to be coachable in order to take part in these things. And what I love about these breakthrough zones is that the people come in with their one thing, and they sit down. They sit in the on in the we called it the hot seat for years. They sit in the breakthrough zone chair, and this is all done virtually, so they're in the breakthrough zone chair, and they tell us what the issue is, and then the coaches, there's several coaches, they all go together and start saying, well, have you thought about doing this? Have you thought about doing that? And what is really cool is that having these coaches, they may give a different perspective on the perspective you've been looking at. One of the things I've found helpful with being part of this mastermind group and being at the Networking Riches is that I myself, when I was heavily into my travel business, was always coming up with ideas and couldn't figure out why they weren't working. And they weren't working because I was looking from a travel professional's perspective, trying to look at it through the eyes of my clients. Think about that. You're the travel professional and you're trying to look at it through the eyes of your clients. But when you're in the hot seat, everybody in the room may be a potential client. So now you're getting feedback from people that go, I don't like that idea, and this is why I don't like it. But if you did blah, 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 and you go, oh, there's that missing piece. And sometimes when you're in that breakthrough zone, that missing piece falls into place, and all of a sudden, it's mind-blowing. And watching, and the thing I love about that is you watch that piece click into place, and you see the world of possibilities suddenly explode in their brain, in their mind, and you see the top of the head lifts off because it's just mind-blowing. And that is such an exciting thing. But the cool part is you get to see everybody else's face because you're on Zoom. Or even when we're in person, you get to see everybody else's faces when it suddenly registers with them what just happened. And you're like, that's the magic. That is the magic. And that is, and if you're looking for that missing piece, come join us at Networking Riches on September 21st and 22nd. It is a Wednesday, Thursday. And come along, join in. You may find the key to that door, either the missing piece of the puzzle or the key to the door of possibilities. So come and join us. It's going to be a phenomenal 2 days. Like I said, I've attended all of these since 2014. So for the last 8 years, I've attended all of them except for 2.5. The 2 that I did not attend, I was traveling at the time. I was in another country. Traveling around in another country, and I didn't have very good internet access at the time. So there's only 2 that I missed because I was out of the country and traveling, and not having the internet connections that we needed to power the Zoom. But I was also traveling around the country with my husband and my parents and in New Zealand, and so there was no way they were going to let me sit in a place for a day or 2 to attend Networking Riches. And I was there to spend quality time with my family. So those are the only times I've missed. But every time we have at least, there are so many golden nuggets dropped, and some people, they find pieces of their keys that they start putting together to create the key, or they find the whole key to fit. They find the perfect key to fit that lock. And when that happens and that door gets unlocked, the possibilities become endless. So come join us at Networking Riches. Find your missing piece. You may find a portion of it. You may find the whole thing. Unless you attend, you don't know. You could be letting, if you don't attend, you could be letting opportunities end up in the room that never was. Or you could end up with those ghosts standing around your bed saying, well, you remember that time that you went to that event, or you didn't go to that event? We had the magic key. Anyway, I'm out of here. Go have a super fantastic sparkling weekend. Check the links in the description below, and especially the Networking Riches is havetonetwork.com. If you use that link, you get to come free as my guest. And if you want to check out the Traveler's Gift, the link is there in the description below. Have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we'll catch you guys back here tomorrow at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Hey, konara.